Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of the Unnamed Political Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Horvath.
I'm your host, Walburger.
And today we're going to be discussing random articles from the news that are definitely relevant. Definitely recent news. Mm-hmm. And it's been over a week. We're sorry that we had to wait this long to produce a new video.
School has started for us, and school hit us hard.
Yeah, we're so busy. It's going to be hard to make this episode in particular because it's going to be a short one.
It's going to be a little short. Things may be a little bit spotty. Hopefully we'll be able to...
We'll try to get you one by the end of this week, too.
Yeah, also, hopefully we'll be able to get back into a steady rhythm of things. Hopefully this week we should have our first guest host.
Hopefully. We'll talk about that towards the end, though.
Yeah, so please, if you would like to hear about news specifically for the podcast and with us, we'll be discussing at the end. We're going to be discussing things for the future and suggestions we have because we would like to come up with hopefully a better intro and other things like that. Just guest hosts.
And we're also celebrating over 100 viewers on our first video.
Yes, this is pretty.
It's a big milestone.
Thank you for doing it. Yes.
I didn't even think I'd get more than 20.
Yes, so to each and every one of you who watched our videos. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We very appreciate. That's not good grammar. We appreciate your viewership.
Very much.
And constructive criticism that's left in the comment section.
Always, very much. And how many subscribers do we now have?
I think we have 15.
We do have 15, so we'd like to thank each one of you 15 subscribers. We now are able to check facts a lot quicker now that we have Chromebooks that we can use now.
The school gives us to use it for the news.
These were not sponsors, unfortunately.
Yeah, no.
Yes, if anyone would like to sponsor us, please feel free. We will advertise pretty much anything.
We will take the sponsorship.
Oh, yeah.
So, you want to just jump right in?
I suppose let's jump right in.
So I guess the first thing we have on our recent news is Obama. This came out today on CNN that Obama is going to rename Mount McKinley in Alaska. I think it's the tallest peak in the U.S. Or is that K2?
No. For those of you who don't know, Mount McKinley, it's the tallest peak in North America, actually.
Yeah, probably.
And it is named after President William McKinley, who was He was the president before Teddy Roosevelt. Right. He was the 25th president of the United States. And he was assassinated in 1901, 6 months into his second term, and his vice president was obviously Teddy Roosevelt, who then
who took his place.
McKinley is probably best known for being president during the Spanish-American War, or also assassination. He's not a super well-known president, and unfortunately, it seems like his
legacy... He wasn't a terrible one.
Oh no, he was. He's not very well-known, but he's generally considered to be a pretty good president. He didn't really do anything extremely bad overall. He's a pretty good guy. He was the Civil War veteran, our final president to be one. He's considered to be above average. I personally was recently listening to another podcast. I strongly recommend you check it out. Hardcore History. Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. Great podcast. A particular one was titled The American Peril, discussing not the Spanish-American War, but that was a major theme in it, but just the U.S. emerging as a power through that conflict. But so what are your thoughts on it? Do you think good idea, bad idea, smart, dumb?
I don't know why you change it. It doesn't seem like there's any motivation behind changing the name. Yeah. The name Denali was the native Athabascan language, which is an Arctic people.
Yeah, since we seem like we're much more well-informed, the Chromebooks are most definitely helping us. But also, don't think that we are just regurgitating facts. We do know a lot of these things from...
I'm looking at the article right now, and it doesn't seem like there's any reason that he changed it.
I feel I don't think it's a super huge deal. I mean, it's obviously not... I mean, it's a very well-known thing. I feel bad for McKinley, I guess.
That's a blow.
I kind of feel, I can see why President Obama would like to. I feel it doesn't really benefit anything. I feel it's just kind of the liberal...
He's trying to leave a legacy.
Yes, mainly I feel this is part of kind of in his last terms, Obama is doing every single thing he can, pulling out all the stops to leave as much of a legacy as he can. It's been shown his Iran deal, his opening up negotiations with Cuba, all these things without really getting anything. He's just trying to be able to say he did stuff.
Well, actually, here's something from the USA Today. It says that Obama's trip to Alaska he's going to Alaska to highlight the effects of climate change in the Arctic. And the White House said that the name change recognizes the sacred status of Denali to generations of Alaskan natives, like the Athabascans.
Mm-hmm. I do think President Obama recently has been trying to, I guess, increase his relations, I guess, by and democratic relations
with
Native American youth.
Indigenous people.
And, yes, as for a Canadian as you are, the indigenous peoples.
For sure.
But I feel he's mainly doing this kind of, in my sense, a bit of pandering to this.
He's a cool kid.
Yeah. I feel that if you wanted to have it be 2 official names, but rather than simply just wipe it off the face of the earth, it is, he's McKinley. He's mainly known as the guy whose vice president was Teddy Roosevelt. Not
for real?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's almost universally overshadowed by him. Like when you think president and Spanish-American War, if that's a thought in your mind, I guarantee you'll jump to Teddy Roosevelt because he was probably the most famous American veteran of the war, whereas McKinley just kind of gets completely overlooked.
Right.
And it seems like one of his final aspects of his legacy for non-historians is being
changing the name.
I don't think it's a huge issue. I personally would keep the name. I could see going to maybe a semi-official name. But
people are calling it Mountain all the natives there, but McKinley, there's no problem with that. Come on.
Yeah.
No reason. No reason.
Also, I feel could this? I don't think this will lead to too much of an issue, but it does now mean you do have to change a number of different things.
Yeah.
Over time.
I can't call it Mount McKinley anymore.
Yeah, but I don't think this isn't a huge issue. But now in bigger news, our next topic.
Bigger news. Yeah, sure.
Much bigger news. The Virginia news shooting,
which happened a couple days ago because we're
first day of school.
Yeah. So yeah, we're recording this on the 29th, or the 31st.
Sorry, it's the 31st. It occurred on the
27th or 26th. I'm not sure. It was the first day of school, right?
Yes, for us it was the first day of school. We were getting little snippets of the news throughout the school day, and it's an extremely tragic event.
Our hearts go out to the families.
Of course.
Our condolences go to them. And it was a terrible tragedy.
And with this, I feel this kind of highlights definitely just the divides that we have in the nation overall.
Racial divides.
As the man who did it, I can't see why anybody isn't claiming it's a hate crime. The man stated he did it because he felt that he was being prejudiced against by the white news reporter and cameraman because he was a black gay man.
Right.
Or gay black man.
Who knows?
Which has precedence.
Yeah, who knows?
Please, commenters, tell us which you feel.
Which is grammatically correct.
Which is politically correct for you.
Yeah,
we will use it at our discretion. But
yourself away.
We apologize for that interruption.
We're having some technical difficulties.
Yes.
My CNN just went off.
Yes, we're having slight difficulties. Hopefully those won't come up again. But overall, do you think this will have that big of an effect, or do you think it'll just kind of be one of the issues that people care about for a couple of days, or maybe a week or two, and then kind of fades away?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, come on. They're not going to talk about it if it was a black guy who shot white people.
Unfortunately, that is what it feels like, because they're just not... You can't start a protest about it, because...
You'll be labeled a bigot.
Yes, unfortunately, it seems.
So, yeah, I don't think anything's going to come out of it.
I mean, I can't really see Southerners, because obviously this happened in Virginia, but I can't really see white people going out into the streets and protesting like this. Not that I'm saying this is a specifically like, oh, it's the black people are doing this, the white people are doing this. I just don't really see this being as much of an issue because I don't really see people trying to play it up because there's no really clear advantage here.
Exactly,
I feel like it just hurt them.
Yeah, it's a crazy guy who I think he used to work at the news station.
Clearly the guy was
and he left
and
he became a racist.
Well,
he's a racist.
Clearly a huge racist.
People don't want to call him a racist.
And people stated they don't want to state this as a hate crime, which I find
it's ridiculous.
If you kill them because they are white and that the Charleston church shooting was the reason you did it. You've basically filled out the definition for a hate crime. You committed a crime based solely on the race of the individuals in question.
He's a racist, and he committed a hate crime.
He may have been insane, but that doesn't negate the fact that it was a hate crime.
It for sure was a hate crime, and people won't admit it was, but it was.
Yes, and this is it does. I think this definitely kind of hurts liberals because they want to because it was clearly a very well publicized event. But the man in question was a two-term Obama voter. He, it is a little bit of a...
So they're not going to cover that.
I don't think this will be covered as much. I think people are going to try to put it down until something that they feel is better to be put in the front, or the spotlight can be brought up.
Exactly. And that's definitely the case. That's probably what's going to happen. Something's going to happen, some random... This is a hypothetical situation, but maybe weeks and weeks, hopefully never happens. But hypothetically, a white man walks into a bar and just shoots black people.
That will happen.
And that will get blown
up.
Not that I'm saying
it will happen, but if that does happen...
It'll get blown up in the news, and they will not stop talking about this. And they'll push for gun control. They'll push for gun control. They'll push for, like... It'll be a rallying cry for some groups.
It will definitely turn into another thing like the Michael Brown issue, which we covered in a previous... Or was this in the original pilot episode?
That was probably in the pilot again.
Yeah, unfortunately. With this, also, with the conservative media, I think, is really trying to overplay this, too, which I think is definitely going to hurt them.
Yeah.
Because when because they realize this is kind of the one opportunity that they have where the liberals can't say anything because it can only hurt them, so they're really overplaying this, which I feel will just hurt conservatives in the long run as well.
Right.
But with the, do you want to take some time to address the Michael Brown issue and that kind of the whole Black Lives Matter thing, or do you want to move on to the other topics later?
Is it okay to say all lives matter here now?
I think it's okay to say it. Would you like to discuss it?
Just for a couple minutes.
Yeah, sure. So how do you view the Black Lives Matter movement? We may address this in a later episode.
I get the meaning because they want to, all their lives clearly do matter.
Yes, nobody's life doesn't matter in the
Exactly.
US.
All of our lives matter. It doesn't matter what color skin you have, whoever you are, you're a person.
And I'm not saying that it's wrong for them because they're saying we're black and our lives matter, that, you're just increases racism. But I do feel some of the aspects
a little radical.
Racial divides in the U.S. rather than trying to help heal them by basically saying kind of the thing where if you're white, you're a racist on these issues or that sort of thing. Those are causing issues. And where, so we don't seem like we're being completely biased here. Well, a lot of people are kind of having the reverse aspect of that and basically saying if you're black, you're just trying to get angered for no reason. So both sides have points, and both sides are clearly wrong in a lot of ways.
Exactly. All lives matter. I don't know why it's scary for people to say that. I remember it was a couple weeks ago, but it was a conference. I don't know. It might have been in New Hampshire. Martin O'Malley gave the conference, and he said that Black Lives Matter was there, and they started protesting it during the middle of his speech, and
he said all lives matter.
He said all lives matter, and he got wrecked, and he ended up apologizing.
Yes, I mean it's just
that's ridiculous.
He should not have had to apologize. And the other thing is just specifically with to address the Michael Brown case. Specifically in the case of Michael Brown, I feel he was. If people want to state that police officers are systematic racist, which I think we both personally, we think that there are, of course,
there are a couple bad apples, and thanks to the digital revolution that's getting more publicized.
Hopefully, this will be able to go away, but I don't think we should go and then start saying you need to start peaceful protests. Obviously, it's your right to do it, but massively, like what we saw in Baltimore with throwing flaming trash cans at cops and the shootings
of cops. It's a whole different story. They're just trying to cause violence.
We've had cop killings throughout the U.S. and the claim that it's just
cop killing just happened a couple days ago.
Yes.
At a gas station, a man just...
Virtually no publication of that, unfortunately.
There was a little bit, but I agree that it was...
There were a number of cases. There was a case of a U.S. Army veteran who was shot. Thankfully, I unfortunately don't know. It was about a month ago. I don't know if he was recovered from his wounds, but he was shot in the face because he had a military Confederate flag on his truck. And it wasn't, I don't even believe it was actually the Confederate flag. I believe it was part of some particular military unit that I don't believe the U.S. Army uses the Confederate flag in any of its military insignia at all.
I think they could.
I can see they may possibly do that. Unfortunately, I enjoy studying military history. I am not as well versed on the all aspects of the military presence as I would like, but he was shot for that. There was I only found that.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah, I only found that almost by accident. Well, actually, literally by accident.
Right.
And I was able to. Hopefully, this isn't one of these issues where it's actually exaggerated or something. But with the sparking off the pros with Michael Brown, I feel was a bad idea because in the case specifically, but specifically in the case of Michael Brown, he wasn't an innocent guy who was gunned down in the streets. He robbed a store and assaulted a police officer, unfortunately.
Right.
I'm using that word too much, unfortunately.
He did. No, that's completely right, man.
But he
frankly,
assaulted a police officer.
Is it okay to say that he got what he deserved?
I mean, I guess, yeah. It seems like it is. Because I mean, if
I try to punch you, you can shoot me. This is like, I don't know, because I did something.
If I rob a store and then start beating a cop, and I don't get shot, I'm lucky. I mean, the cop has every right to defend himself.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But in some cases, we clearly have shown that we've had some less than spectacular cops in the police force.
Right. I mean, there's always a couple.
But I think overall, if we start to get into a process of all cops are evil and you can't obey the cops, then we just evolve into a anarchist society.
Exactly. What are we going to do then?
Yeah, I mean,
there'll be more killings then than there are right now. So we do need to reform the police force.
I don't think we need to reform the police force is the right word, but I do think we do definitely need to make changes to policy and things like that in order to make sure that for the bad apples, they don't end up in our police forces or they're removed from the police forces.
100% agree.
Yeah, I think, and with the Black Lives Matter movement, I think that it's a good
message. It's a
good message that people's lives matter, but people have spun it out of control, and other individuals
to make it seem like they're above us
to use for political gain, and people have kind of spun it out because I guess in a lot of cases, race baiting, depending which side you're on, can get votes for who you want, depending how you work it out.
Definitely.
And it's that sort of thing.
So you want to move on?
Let's move on. All right. So again, I guess with a race issue a little bit. Would you like to take this?
So I mean, this was probably a couple days ago, maybe even 3 days ago. But it was Donald Trump was at a press conference somewhere. I don't know where it was. I think it was in Massachusetts, maybe.
I'll check. You can keep.
I'll continue. And so Trump was taking questions, and it seemed like a casual, average question and answer session. And then you got Jorge Ramos, who's an anchor at Univision, just came out of nowhere and just started throwing questions about immigration, and quite violently, actually.
Okay.
And Trump said he was trying to, brush him off. He's like, you gotta wait your turn. Then finally security came and kicked him out, and he was still screaming outside. So, I mean, what's your opinion on it, man? I'll talk later.
I definitely think that both sides of the media, especially in the more liberal media, which is basically all channels aside from Fox,
considering this an injustice.
This horrible because unfortunately there was an individual outside of it who yelled at Ramos to get out of my country.
Yeah.
Despite him being an American, which I feel, why would some of these people who are doing this, you are doing nothing but hurting. Why would you say that?
That's not what Trump wants.
That destroys
Although
you.
I'm not a supporter.
Yeah, I am not a supporter of Donald Trump either. But that's clearly not what he.
It goes for.
Why would he say it? But with that, I feel that obviously Donald Trump had a clear with Romance was
wait your turn. Why do you have to go and get out of your thing?
Because that clearly was antagonistic, as a lot of reporters are. They're a lot of their cases, their goal is to be antagonistic, because if you can get a politician to trip up, you can use that on them repeatedly.
But that's not the way. This guy made a mistake.
And the guy outside of Trump, who yelled at him, because that video, on YouTube, if you see, was just skyrocketed to the top viewership video, which I feel, just in it with YouTube, I feel that YouTube obviously is a very liberal website and organization.
I think so.
But overall, it has also kind of shown that it seems like it bumps up videos to more top viewers,
I agree.
Top videos or something, when in reality they're not, because of the political message that they feel should get out, which I feel can create a false impression of it.
Right.
Because again, we're not Trump supporters, but it created the image that Trump was authorized that, if you're Latin American,
Go back.
Yeah, even if you're an American citizen, get out of our country. Because
which Jorge Ramos is.
Yes, he's
even though he is from Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do need to make to stop kind of with this. I guess kind of the whole society, basically, we need to make the other side look evil. We kind of need to acknowledge that both sides are human. I guess.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
do you think this will hurt Trump?
Probably not, honestly. It's probably, actually, I think he's doing great right now in the polls. I mean, what is that? Oh.
Coming out later. But
I saw that, yeah.
He's doing, he's still trumping the polls.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even consider him a Republican though at this point.
I really, really hope that his lead starts to fall back because he's like Hillary will address Hillary Clinton in a little bit, but he's basically handing the election to her while she's losing popularity.
August 31st, 2015,
polls?
Today.
Oh.
Trump is 25.7% of the vote. The nearest competitor to that is Ben Carson with 11 points.
Yes, Jeb Bush, who previously was believed to be a definite frontrunner,
and he was, I'd say, up until like mid-July.
Yeah, Jeb Bush has slowly been falling behind, unfortunately, because he just hasn't been as aggressive as he could have been.
He's third now in polls. But.
Yeah, he's consistently third, and he is scaring people because, I mean, I feel like the only person who like realistically has a shot, or the only people. Carson at the moment doesn't have a shot at beating Hillary.
No.
Jeb, if he becomes more aggressive, which he needs to do, which it almost seems like it's not in his nature, unfortunately, but he's the one who has the best chance of it.
Right.
Rubio, I feel, doesn't have enough experience. He definitely has the charisma and the ideas. He's definitely will be a strong contender, I feel, in future elections as well.
Rubio?
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I think if he doesn't get the nomination or a position or something like that, he will definitely be coming back.
I think so.
We will see him in the future.
Again, I keep thinking he's going to be Bush's VP, but I mean, that's probably not
I personally don't see that happening at all because they're both Floridians.
Right.
That's individuals from Florida, which I feel you don't always want because I feel you might want Jeb might want if he emerges as a front runner who could pick vice president. I would feel he'd want to go with maybe Walker or
not Walker. Walker's like an old guy.
Usually
you want like a young person running. There's not many young people running.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean,
in both parties.
On both parties, this isn't. Yeah, it's no longer the people saying that the Republicans are the party of the old white guys.
Quite frankly,
they are. They may have a lot of old white guys, but they're also clearly has shown 50% of the major Democrat candidates are old white guys too. The other half are old white women.
Yeah.
Because we are not going. The only candidates we really consider to be major ones are Bernie and Hillary.
That's true.
We do not consider they're good guys. We don't really consider them.
They have almost
the Bobby Jindals of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, basically. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you want to? I mean, since we're talking about Hillary.
Since we're talking about Hillary, I guess. So yeah, the email scandal.
I mean, this has been in the news for months.
Oh
yeah. It's getting more heat though.
It's finally picking up heat.
Which it should. It's a federal crime.
It could be a federal crime. We don't know that yet.
It will be.
Do you think she definitely
She's going to drop out? I'll give her 6 months.
Do you think she will drop out of the race?
Yeah.
I do not see that happening.
Or she'll get arrested. I mean, which one happens?
I cannot see her being arrested at all. I can see it hurting her, but no. I mean, unless, because if she was because she knows what she did, and if she committed a federal crime by now, she would be panicking. Because, I mean, there's no way at this point that anything could be covered up unless she's already covered it up. So I feel knowing the type of person that Hillary at least allows us to think she is, if she thought she was going to get indicted in anything, she would have already panicked, dropped out by now.
What do you mean wipe your servers with a cloth?
Yeah, also, but yeah, with things like that, that's just making nobody trust her.
It's making it worse.
It's also making her definitely look like... It's making Bernie Sanders look like a tech-savvy guy compared to her. Which Bernie Sanders actually seems like he may be.
He might be.
She is clearly...
He's like 70-something.
Yeah, but he's seeming like he's getting the youth a lot more than she is because...
She's getting like the center.
She's turning into an...
Center left.
Yeah, because,
Even though she's turning towards, Bernie.
She's trying. I feel this is kind of Bernie's big thing. I don't think Bernie really thinks he has a shot at the White House unless I think at first. I mean, I think he thinks he might have a shot if Hillary really gets hurt.
I think he has a legit shot.
His main goal is to bring Hillary very far left as he wants her to, or just a lot farther left.
Well, what's the game for him?
So the game for him is because he obviously believes that our socialist policies are the best for America, so that's his game.
Right.
And also, I suppose they'll benefit him in the long run. I mean, it's the same thing with a couple of other presidents. This is one of the other issues is, again, with Bernie Sanders, we applaud him on the show because we think he's probably one of the most authentic candidates.
Definitely. I think he's
much more authentic than Hillary. He's
even
honest.
Compared to Republicans, I think he's very honest.
We obviously don't agree with socialism, but we think he's at least honest about it.
He's been honest and consistent with his platform since the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So.
With most of the candidates, we don't see like with Hillary, we just don't see the same consistency and stuff like that.
It's not.
And I'm not saying that the Republicans are also being models of consistency as well. We see that sort of thing.
I'd say more than half of them aren't.
Yes.
There are a couple of very serious good candidates.
Yes.
Both parties.
Mm-hmm. But with that, I can't picture Hillary dropping out. I mean, that would be huge.
I still can.
You can see her dropping out? No.
I can. It's getting worse on her, you can tell.
It's getting worse, but I feel they're going to pull out all stops to end this. They're going to do whatever it takes to get rid of it, because they know Hillary is their best chance of winning the presidency. Still, I feel if Hillary were to drop out now, there is definitely enough time for either another candidate, possibly Biden or Gore, who I would love to see run.
I would love to. It would be so good to see Gore run.
Oh, yes.
Or even Kerry.
Yeah, to have a new candidate step in. There's enough time for them to be able to gain familiarity with the voters, or for Bernie to do what he can to just fill the power gap.
I'd still think a decent amount of people know who Al Gore is.
Yeah, but unfortunately, but if that happens, because it basically would give the Democrats a do-over to learn the mistakes from Hillary Clinton. But if that happened, for the Republicans to stand a chance at winning, you would need to have Trump also. Yeah, right. If you could get Trump and Hillary out, then I feel you could have a much better potential America.
I feel like Al Gore is the only center-left person that could run and do good.
I could see Biden doing
Biden's not center-left, though.
Yeah, he's not really center-left, but... Mm-hmm.
I think Gore is. I mean, he was kind of when he was first running.
I feel Gore's moved much farther left. I feel he will push Obama's climate agenda into the stratosphere.
Yeah, but
into the atmosphere.
I mean, that's like one aspect. I feel like he's still pretty decent on others.
On other issues, yeah. Well, I'm not saying that a strong environmental stance is bad. I'm just saying when it interferes with other issues, then yes, it can become a problem.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Teddy Roosevelt, clearly an environmentalist. We mentioned him more. Yes, progressive. But when it does hinder other progress, I feel it can be a bit of an issue. And when it restricts the growth of the economy and other things, it can, in the long term, you don't know which it could hurt more.
I agree.
They have their opinions. We have ours. And again, definitely. Our opinions at any time are subject to change or alterations.
Oh boy, yeah, if it really...
This is us covering ourselves as much as we can.
Exactly. So, I mean, we kind of covered Trump and Bush.
Yeah, so with Trump and Bush, we haven't really covered them that well, but with...
Like the relationship.
Well, I'll swing back to that. Yeah. Trump is now hammering as hard as he can to Bush. I'm surprised he's not going after Carson yet, because Carson's clearly kind of...
He's doing really well.
He's doing amazing. Like, Carson was doing very strong at first, then he kind of fell off the map. Then during the debate, he came back. Right. And now he is riding that wave.
Exactly, and I mean...
I actually received a call from him. Not literally, of course. But he, like, kind of a telemarketer-esque call. But Ben Carson asking...
was it like his voice?
His vote, yeah, reporting from Ben Carson. So, yeah, Mr. Carson, if you are listening to this, thank you. Please give us an actual call.
For real.
Non-pre-recorded.
Be a guest host.
Please, we will do whatever it takes. We will spend the rest of up until the election introducing every podcast and telling people to vote for you if you will come on the show.
Definitely. Yes. Or any candidate.
Any candidate.
For real.
If Hillary's willing to, if Bernie's willing to, we will.
Probably Lindsey Graham.
Okay, Lindsey, I will take Lindsey Graham.
I support
Lindsey Graham,
Bobby
please come on our show.
Tan, rested, and ready.
You would be awesome. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Just please email us. We will, if we think you're legitimate,
we'll bring you on the show, man.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be great. Well, speaking of bringing people on the show.
Yeah, I suppose we may need to start to wrap this one up.
I mean, we're getting close to 30 minutes. We knew this was going to be a short one.
Yeah, unfortunately, this episode, I don't think it's going to be that long of one.
It'll be over 30 minutes, but I mean, that's how long the usual ones are. So I guess we're not doing too bad.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. So I guess we've covered the weekly big issues. There, of course, have been big issues that we haven't covered. We haven't really covered them.
And we apologize for not covering them, but we only have certain time.
Ukraine recently heated up today. We weren't able to cover that. We'd like to cover that maybe later in the week. Thailand, we may cover that later in the week. The situation in the Middle East, those things.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, but we apologize. But I guess let's move on to the ending segment.
All right, so we have been
very busy, and we love guest hosts, and and hopefully we may have our
We
first
may
one.
have one sometime this week.
Yes, a self-described leftist fascist
Socialist.
or communist anarchist.
Socialist.
Who
He's a
Jack
socialist.
believes is a total socialist.
He is a socialist. I've seen the polls that he, or the I side with that he did. Did you check that out?
I was not able to check that out.
Because he sent us links to
Oh,
like
he
his
did?
I side and
I
his
was
political
able to
compass.
check. Okay.
His political compass was left authoritarian, or maybe it was left libertarian, like really far left, really like libertarian.
I think he may have been doing it as a joke, but
I
you
don't
never
think
know.
so. I
But
think
yeah,
it's
we
legit.
may. We
And
want
his high side with Bernie Sanders, 96%.
Okay, so he definitely.
We have a Democratic socialist coming on our show.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Hopefully he will be able to come on the show. His name, do you think it's okay if we announce him?
No.
Okay,
We'll save it for the episode.
We won't spoil the surprise who this person is. But for those of you who are local viewers, or I guess who know us personally, we can tell you he is an extremely intelligent individual.
Extremely smart, especially science. Definitely.
Especially in science and mathematics. He's a
genius.
He's a genius. There's no other way to say, and we aren't even exaggerating this.
He's a genius.
He is
definitely.
He's one of the smartest people I've ever met in my entire life.
Definitely,
and yes, he is the kid. He's the kid who we will tell our kids we got to go to high school with.
Definitely, yeah. And also, a couple weeks after that, we might have another guest host.
We do have a couple other individuals.
Definitely a little more
center
left,
but still left.
But still kind of left.
We've contacted a couple other people. We mainly left wingers. Not
a single conservative
no,
yet.
We were able to talk. I was able to talk to one conservative. But hopefully he'll be able to come. He is a Tea Party member.
For real?
Well, not exactly a Tea Party member, but a junior Tea Party member, we'll say.
Really? He's coming on the show? If he wants to, I totally have him on. He's awesome. He's a patriot.
We apologize for not mentioning the names. It's just if they don't come on the show, we don't want to put their names out there.
Because then we'll get pegged for not hosting them.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of interesting things coming.
A lot of things coming. So please, again, if any of you are listening to this and you want to be a guest host,
let us know.
Yes.
Email us at unnamedpoliticalpodcast@gmail.com.
Email us. Yes. Please show this to your friends. We want to go from 100 to hopefully in a month.
We can get 200.
200?
Yes. Yeah,
I don't know. That would be awesome.
We've been gaining traction.
Please subscribe to us. We would love to see it happen. But and overall, please suggest ideas again. I think we've decided we're going to stick with Unnamed Political Podcast as
definitely, because we're actually, if you search our name now, I've probably mentioned this before, we're the #1 search.
Yeah, I feel our name is out there now. Hopefully, we're going to try to maybe eventually put these actually on the podcast app. Because we have had the issue of just paying to upload, and we don't really want to do it unless we know we have a larger following, I would suppose.
Right.
But we'd like to any suggestions for themes, designs, introductory music. Please comment, suggest them below. We would like an introduction. Yeah, any royalty-free music that you think would be good.
Right.
Yes, we do not. We have a $0 budget basically.
I was trying to think. Someone brought this up in our comments. Mr. Harry Mitchell brought up.
And
I've had kind of a change of
heart. Well, yes, this is his YouTube account name, so we aren't exactly dropping.
We aren't giving away his name. He put that up there for himself, but he commented that we should show our face in the video instead of just having like a black screen.
I personally
think eventually we can do that.
Eventually, if we had enough people and enough popular demand for that. Personally,
we just don't have a good. We're in a basement recording this in a closed room.
We basically record in either basements or attics.
On a ping pong table.
Yeah, we record on a ping pong table.
It's extremely basic.
Yeah,
extremely primitive.
Don't have a very high tech system. I think that if we put it on the podcast,
want to see a treadmill in the background.
Yeah, and I personally am okay with currently at least the just radio style.
Exactly.
If we ever do try to do it, I mean, almost all of our viewers are local. With the exception of a few of them who you guys, thank you. You guys are awesome.
We love you guys.
Local guys also equally awesome.
And spread to your friends.
You know who we are. And I don't know if I want to put my face on the internet, at least yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
definitely. At my tender age, no.
Oh, no. But, things are...
I mean, I'm sorry we couldn't do it, again.
We were able to give you our little tidbit.
We're glad that we could make a quick episode. This is actually 34 minutes. That's longer than some of the other ones we do. So we're giving it to you guys.
Yeah, you're right. Hopefully we'll be able to get one or two more by the end of the week.
Maybe by Friday.
Hopefully a guest host by the end of the week. We'd like to address whatever issues we didn't get to address this week or whatever issues we'll develop during the week later.
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully we'll be able to work out with our school schedules and be able to get more of a consistent.
At least we'll try at least twice a week.
At least, yeah.
Because the schedule, I think it'll get easier next week.
I feel this shock and awe from going straight from having nothing.
Exactly.
We were caught off guard like Saddam Hussein.
Hey.
It was
all right. That's good.
We were, but yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get things back to you. If people enjoyed our phone calls, let's just say, to certain political organizations,
I took that one down.
Oh,
I took that video down, and the reason why is because I didn't realize that your phone number, that they verbally gave out your phone number in that video.
Oh, unfortunately.
So I took steps to taking it down, and I deleted anything that advertised it because...
Okay, so yes, please don't. I'll just change my phone number, I guess. I actually need to change it, so...
I mean, if you do, I can put it back up, but...
Okay, but, well, still, because then who knows whoever else gets it.
Right.
But basically, yeah, we're, hopefully we'll do it, and we will try to either bleep out any phone digits.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you guys enjoy or would like us to start having a little bit of a comical time, we may try to do that or things like that. Hopefully with a political, geographical, that sort of style.
Definitely leave your comments and your criticism, criticism or positive comments, or just like the video.
Yeah,
like the video.
Just tell us your thoughts.
Get us out there.
We'd like to, and tell us anything you want us to see us do, maybe. Our guest host, who hopefully will be coming on this week,
Friday,
suggested doing historical related stuff, which I personally
would love to do that too.
Yeah, we would. So yeah,
just always doing politics.
If you guys would like to see that, we would love to do it. If for some of you guys who are taking history classes, who we know, hey, we could help you guys.
We could get through your homework.
Yeah. So hopefully, we hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get back to you at least once more this week at a minimum, and hopefully get more regular schedule.
Not like a week that we went.
Oh yeah, no.
Definitely will be.
The podcast is not dying; it is only starting.
Amen.
Yes.
All right. So I'm Jack Horvath.
I'm Clark Walburger.
And thanks for listening to the Unnamed Political Podcast. Adios.
Adieu.
See you next time.